was made for you.
Hey friends, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. So it is Tuesday, November, and it's in the afternoon. And today is our warmest day. It's supposed to hit 59. So the next 2 days are going to be in the high 50s. So Mr. Jerry, aka my hubby, he is doing leaf blowing for the next few days and all that good stuff. Well, I'm in here doing stuff. So a lot of leaves have fallen, but we're supposed to be getting rain and everything, and they're talking about Saturday through Monday we're supposed to get snow. We're supposed to get snow. Then it's going to be back up in the 40s. It's not going to stick. They said the ground temp is still in the 40s, and we're not going to have snow even for opening day deer hunting and in November, on November 15th. But it's just the idea that we could get snow already. So as he's outside doing that, I thought I would take a break and come in here and chit chat with y'all. And I did find some things I started last year for Mr. Jerry for Christmas. I never got them done, so I pulled them back out. One is a muscle burrow hat and one is a pair of socks. And the socks wouldn't be so bad, except for it's a pattern sock. And the first one I did the pattern all the way down to the toe. And I pulled it out and I'm on the gusset decreases around the ankle. And I need to decrease it 4 more stitches before that part is done. But I got it out and I'm trying to figure out the pattern, and no matter, I must have done it wrong last year because it was not coming out, and I did 2 rows and it just wasn't coming out, and I was short stitches, so I did the best thing I knew how to do because I wasn't ripping it out, because it is like one of these where for 32 stitches, every stitch is different. And then you have yarn overs. So I just knit it right straight across it. And I am going to, and I'm just going to start, there's 4 rows of the pattern, and I'm just going to start it all over again, fresh. So I'm just like, oh, the one that I left had to be the pattern one. So let me show you what it looks like. So this was the first one, and it's by Summerly Knits, and it's called Hibernal. So I'm doing the size medium. And I remember last year I had them try them on when I got them done. But there is the pattern. So it is a faux cable. Then you have knit and purl ribbing in between the faux cables. And then the bottom is just plain stockinette. The leg part, it went all the way around. So it is a snugger fit. So, and there is the heel flap and gusset. So, yeah. And I know he really liked these. So, I got to get these done for him for Christmas. So, this is how far. And here, and I can't tell you because I don't have the tag in it. I can't tell you without looking up on my Ravelry. I know they are US ones, 1.25 millimeters, but see, I got the leg done and I'm just on the decrease part, and then I can start the foot. So, and his foot is a little bit longer than mine, so it takes a little bit longer. But what will be easy once I can get this figured out is that the front part will be the pattern and the bottom part will be stockinette, which will, because you don't like to walk on that pattern stuff. So, yeah. So I've got them pulled out, sitting beside my chair, because I really should get those done, because he would like a pair of Christmas socks. And I showed him this yesterday and he goes, oh yeah. So this has got to get done. But this is from Freckled Whimsy's Spells and Things. And this was a Harry Potter Year 3 out of her Splendid base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. There is 100 grams or 437 yards. This one is an 8-stripe repeat. It's called Magical Umbrella. So and I will probably do the heel and toe in this. Well, I might not. I might only do one. Seems like last time. I'll have to remember if I have enough to do both in this. I should, but I'm not for sure. So I will either do the heel or the toe, because I think that's what I ran into before. And if I do one sock and it's not enough for the second, it's going to be not a good situation. But yeah, so he really likes these. So my thought process is to get this one done. So that's done. Then I can wind this up and I can start on that for him. The other thing I had started was, like I said, the Musselburgh hat. And thank goodness to this, I was on just the straight stockinette knitting where you just knit round and around. They are on my 3-inch needles, so they're really scrunched up. But he had picked this color out last year, and it's not knitting like I thought it would, or he did, but he really likes it from last year. I remember that. So this one I just got to keep knitting for 19 inches, and then I can do the decreases. And it's one of those tube ones. So you just, you keep knitting all the way down to the other side, and then when you get to your inches that you need, then you start the decrease, and it decreases right down to nothing. And so you got a long tube, but when you're done, you just shove the one end into the other end, and it makes a hat that you can roll up and stuff. So this one, I did put what it is in the yarn ball. This is from La Jolla. It's 100% superwash merino wool, 400 yards, 115 grams. And this one was let's see. This was the Love Your Store. So this was when they did their yarn thing, and this is from, it's been a while that I've had this, but anyways, that is the tag right there. So that's what that is. So my plan is, when I feel like knitting, if I don't feel like knitting on the socks, I got his hat I can knit on. And my whole thought process is if I do at least 30 minutes on one and 30 minutes on the other, it'll eventually get done. So I pulled those out, and I moved them next to me, so I have no excuse not to do that. And I got this, and if I had a spare pair of needles, I would wind it up and probably cast it on, and the other thing wouldn't ever get done, but he'd get the Christmas socks sooner. I did get Miss Layla, our granddaughter's pillow, done last night. I was a little frustrated because I did a pattern front piece, and then I did a different piece on the back, which was a continuous granny square. And the thing with that is I should have just done double crochet, because the front piece was, they both have 48 stitches, but the front piece was a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch tighter in than the back, so it kind of made it curl up. And if I ripped out a row of that granny stitch, then it wouldn't be the correct number of stitches to hook it through. And I wanted to do a scalloped edging, which is just basically 5 double crochets in a stitch, and then I skipped a stitch, and then the next stitch I did a single crochet, skipped a stitch, and did 5 double crochets, and repeated it all the way around. Jerry says it looks nice. I see that it has stretched that front way out on the pattern. She's not going to know. I understand that, but it's done. It's done. So this is what it's looking like. I think it turned out cute with that ruffle edge right there. And I ran out of that pink. I did grab the white. So, but yeah. And then, so there is that ruffle that goes all the way around. And what I did was, when it came to the corner, if it was, because I did the chain 5 double crochets in the corner chain, I would fudge it here. If I had 2 stitches, I would just squeak it in so that it would go all the way around. But it is a 20-inch pillow form, and it is nice and squishy. And she's 10 years old, and hopefully she will love it. I'm sure she will, but yeah. But it's done. It's done. So as far as the girls are concerned for Christmas, I think they're done. I say that, but there's other things I want to try to do, but you know, I'm also crocheting on that blanket. I started chart 3, and chart 3 is not very long, and so, you know, I've already worked on the socks. It frustrated me, so I got to put it down. Like I said, until I just decided to on that front, I don't think you will see that one time that I just went across and knitted it, because that way I can sit there and start the pattern out correctly, because like I said, it's a 4-row repeat, but it's nothing that you can memorize because every row is different. And so it might be like a knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, yarn over, and then it might be knit 1 and then pass over stitch, which is just knit 2, and then you knit 1, and then you pass those 2 that you slipped, or slip 1, and then knit 2 together, and then pass that slip stitch over the 2, and so they're all different. So, and it's like this long, and so I've had to, on my iPad, I just get it big, and I just like do like 3 or 4 stitches, then I move the screen so that those stitches are off. So, but I did do that, but I think I'm going to go crochet on that blanket so I can at least get that done. Because, you know, I've seen other things I want to sew and make. I think I am going to make a couple of little mini wallets or wristlets. I ordered some hardware for a hook on the you know, the wrist part. Oh my goodness, words are hard today. The strap that hooks to it. And I think I want to do a key fob, and yeah, so we'll see. But I did order some stuff that I can use for the key fob and for the wristlet and stuff, just to see what it's like. I might just make up some key fobs or lanyards or whatever, and have them laid out and just let them take what they want if they want one, because I don't know if people use those anymore or not. But anywho, that's what I'm going to do, at least for Layla. Yeah. So other than that, because like I said, my face itch, I'd like to get started on this, which is that rug. And I don't know, but I'm all over the place with crafts as normal. But I feel good that I got all the handmade things I said I wanted to get done. They are done, except for the guys, and I'm not for sure with the guys. I said I was going to do hats, but I don't know. I just don't know. So, and I'm not going to sit here. I know I don't have enough DK yarn to do socks because they go quicker, but I'm not going to, when I've got two other ones right here to do. Plus I'll have my Advent one. So, yeah. And I know it's only November, but November is short. November is short. So, and if Mr. Jerry doesn't get his socks, he's got Christmas socks, and I know he'll be okay, but I'll just decide on this if I'm going to put the mini in it or just knit it up, because sometimes the mini matches a color that's in it, and sometimes that color shows up as the heel anyways, and I don't want to basically waste it when I'm using that. So but he, you know, he never says anything about a pair of socks, but the man wears them when the snow hits in the winter months. He really likes them. I know he likes the thicker ones, which is the DK weight, but he does like wearing these. And if we go any place, like if the kids come here for Christmas, he'll put those on, or if we go to my mom's, he'll put those on. So but yeah, so other than that, this morning my legs are still sore, better than they were yesterday. It just tells me, you know, that those muscles haven't been used in a while. And so when I get up and I move around, you know, they're better. It's just when you sit and they don't, you know, get some movement. But I did do 15 minutes today on the treadmill. I wasn't going to push it because they are a little sore. And kind of out of sorts today because the kiddies normally wake us up at 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. for food. And they didn't wake us up until 7:30. We just kept waking up. And Jerry got up and fed them at 7:30. And he crawled back in bed, and we slept until 9 a.m. And so we need that sleep from this time change. But other than that, I don't have too much more to chit chat about that I can think of. Oh, I keep forgetting. If you remember when our Keurig died and our coffee maker, and I had to call customer service several times. And the last time that I called, they were doing a major update to their computer system. And Jerry and I both said we'll be lucky if we get it. And so I was waiting because I really dreaded calling again. And Jerry said, but he said, you know, you registered it and they said they would replace it for free because it only been since February. I said, I know, but I said, it's just difficult. And he says, well, if he has to, he will. Well, he can't hardly understand when they talk, let alone, you know, me. So I thought, okay, Monday I was thinking I would do it. And I didn't get around to do it. And then I noticed that, was it Monday? Yeah, that they were shipping it out. It was going to be shipped out Monday. And it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So, yay. Because I think he spent $140 some on it. And when it breaks, it just quit working. And he did that in February. And for once, me registering something made a difference. So I'll definitely make sure I register it again. So that'll be nice to get that. And it's not that the coffee pot that we have, I mean, it's just a regular Mr. Coffee coffee pot. It's just that when I want some hot tea or something, I was so used to the Keurig just going over pushing a button for hot water. And now it's like I put on the tea kettle. Isn't that awful? I put on the tea kettle and wait for it to boil. What? A few minutes? 5 minutes at the most? Yeah. That's how much we rely on things, you know, because back in the day, you didn't have the microwave to warm up the water. You didn't have a Keurig. I mean, you had a tea kettle, or maybe you didn't even have a tea kettle and you had a pan, a saucepan you put water in, you know. I can remember my grandma making hot chocolate with milk and getting out the saucepan and dumping the milk in it, and as soon as it was hot enough, you know, she had made her own hot chocolate, and her own hot chocolate at the time was probably cocoa and a little bit of sugar in it. I mean, it wasn't much. She didn't have anything that, I do not remember her putting, you know, some recipes have creamer in it, some recipes have powdered sugar in it. I don't remember Grandma having any of that. So it was probably just cocoa powder, you know, and the milk. And if you wanted it sweeter, you took some sugar. But, yeah. So anyways, I better let you go, my friends. But I just wanted to come on and say hello and happy Tuesday, and that's what I'm going to be doing soon, is on these socks and the hat. Because if I have them sent by me, then I can do them. And if those socks give me enough of a fit finishing them, they're going to wait until after the holidays. And I'll just knit up that striped sock and he'll be getting that. But and he'll get the hat, because the hat won't take much. You know, it's just knitting round and round on that small circumference, you know. I could have put it on a magic loop, which is a longer cable, and then knit it that way, where you knit half of them and then you pull your needle through and knit the other half. But it's so much easier on that 16-inch circumference around. I think it's 16. It might be, I don't think it's 24. It might be, but anyways, I'm going to let you go, my friends, so I can go back out, put my feet up, and go crochet for a little bit and see what's on YouTube. So, because my hubby is working in the backyard, and he'll have that done pretty soon, and he'll be coming in, and it's a lot of work doing that. We used to rake them all the time, but he just takes the leaf blower, blows them into a pile, gets out a tarp, and then he takes the rake and rakes it into the tarp, and then he pulls it off to the side. So there's just so much leaves. But it's dark enough today that we have to have lights on. So it makes all of our tree lights and everything really show up nice right now. So that's really nice. So, but anyways, oh, I don't know what I was going to say. So anyways, my friends, I hopefully will see you on the next vlog. And if not, I'll see you when I can see you. So thanks for stopping by as always. See you Wednesday.